Hello and welcome to this week's podcast YouTube show. My name is Kate May, Modern Day Mystic. You can catch me for a reading or a session on Feng Shui on katemay.co.uk. Wow, we have got a packed session for you today. What a week. It feels like my feet have literally not touched the ground in this week, maybe month of May. Now we are into June, so we've got lots of things to talk about with the tarot, with the Feng Shui energy for June, but also the astrology for June, which we'll touch on in a moment. So last week I was at the London Mind, Body, Spirit event, a huge show, thousands of people. I had a stall, I did a talk. I was super lucky to be able to do a talk on the exhibitor stage, and I did my talk on Feng Shui, tarot and manifesting, three of my favourite things to bring together. And I had such good feedback, so I'm really pleased and would like to thank anyone that's watching that came or that gave me great feedback from that, because I wasn't nervous, I was excited to share it all, but you never know if people are going to like it when it's something new. And bringing the tarot, Feng Shui and manifesting together is a new concept that I'm doing, because I like to do new things. No doubt somebody will come along and copy, because that's what they always do. But what do they say? Copy is the greatest compliment that you can get. And actually, we would talk about copying, people copying. Sometimes I've had other people come to me and be really frustrated that someone has taken their idea or copied their idea. And for me, apart from it being a great compliment, it actually allows you to grow, to set up. If I hadn't had competition in it, I feel it like anyone copying is always healthy competition. I would literally still be where I was probably 10 years ago. So if you are going through something, and I know a few people in the last couple of weeks have come up to me and said, oh, I was so frustrated, I had this idea and da-da-da. Two things: if you have an idea, it's already out in the ethos, it's not yours anymore. Once that idea is formed, you can be sure that somebody else may have thought about it and you're picking up on that, or that you've just not actioned it. And the power that comes in with thinking is to action before you actually talk about it, and then go da-da, rather than saying you're going to do something and then waiting until you've done it before you show any more, but you lose a bit of power there. So one thing is, if you've got an idea, do keep it to yourself until it's really ready. But any kind of copying, any kind of competition, see it as a time for you to level up, to step up. Maybe things have been a bit stagnant for a while, maybe it's this is what you need to be like, actually I need a bit of a push. So look at it on a positive side of things. That's what I always say to people. So yes, anyhow, the fair was a huge success for me. I sold out of all of my tarot manifesting books, and I had two huge suitcases chock-a-block with cards and books, which I was really struggling to get there. I wouldn't do that again. But I came home with a quarter. I probably come home with about 13 decks out of I don't know, maybe about 60 odd decks. So good. It was a good fair. I met so many beautiful people, so many good people, and also I met some lovely people that I hadn't seen, only online. That was really nice. And certainly from my Feng Shui course, it was beautiful to meet face to face there as well. So it was good. It was all good. And then I just came back and it was just storm and Norman. It was a very busy week. So I'm really pleased for today, Sunday. Colin's gone fishing for the day. He was up at like 5:45, something ridiculous. I didn't get up that early, but I got up fairly early for a Sunday just to get on with things, and it's so far so good. It's 12 o'clock and it is all good. So I'm really enjoying today and just catching up on things, because I haven't had a day off this week, and I'm able to now get my bearings, which as a Taurus I like. So I want to share something first of all with you. Now, this is actually taken, I was going to do my own version, and I thought, you know what, she's done this so well and I'd like to give her a plug out. Samantha Lyons, she does Autumn Moon Advisory. I would go and recommend following on LinkedIn or on Facebook, on Instagram, Autumn Moon Advisory. She puts up some cracking astrology information that is so simple to understand. Some people go a little bit too deep for my brain, but I love the way that she does it. She sends out a lovely newsletter each week. Her consistency is there, and that's what I like with people, the consistency. So we're going to go through what's coming up in June. We're going to look at what dreams. I put it out to my group as to what shall I talk about today for this week, and dreams popped up. And I thought we'll also talk about, I did a question or show in the week, and one of the questions I didn't get to answer. One of the questions was, can Feng Shui remove negative or remove spirits, not negative? Can Feng Shui remove spirits? So I didn't get a chance to answer on that show, so we're going to answer that question today, as well as looking at the tarot cards. So we are still in Gemini energy at the moment. And I don't think I've done this yet. I should have done it when we had the sun move into Gemini, but I think I was in London last week doing it. So we're in Gemini season still, just for a couple more weeks before we move into Cancer season, which is going to be lovely and comfortable. Gemini season is very active. It's about networking. It's community based. It's very good for friendships there. It rules the 3rd house in astrology, which is to do with communication. It's to do with technology, just like Mercury, but it's more than that. It's to do with communication with others around. Gemini being the two sides, so seeing both sides of situation or dualities of some kind, but certainly connecting with others. So the tarot cards that connect to Gemini, we have the Jupiter in Gemini, which is the 8 of Swords, and this is all about thinking outside the box. We have naturally the Lovers, which is ruled by Gemini, so we have communication as well as deep connections. We have the Mars in Gemini, which is the 9 of Swords. Mars is the planet of aggression, anger, or war, as well as passion and force. And sometimes Geminis are the thinkers. They're an air sign, so thinkers. So sometimes when we're thinking too much and we apply too much of that force, it can end up causing us a bit of stress. We have the Knight of Swords. He represents Gemini. We have the Page of Swords, which represents all the air sign, including Gemini's energy. And we have the 10 of Swords, which is the Sun in Gemini. And again, this represents excessive thoughts. Too much sun can burn you, right? So this represents excessive thoughts. Now, this particular week, going from the 2nd of June to the 8th of June, we're slightly today in on the 1st of June, we're in the 9 of Swords energy today. And then we move, we still stay in it. We stay in the 9 of Swords all week. We're in the 9 of Swords all week, looking at my diary. Now, I have a new idea, and this was inspired from Autumn Moon Advisory. So I do a diary every year, a tarot diary, and we look at each week where the tarot cards fall for that particular week, because just like the moon has energy each week, so do the tarot cards. They represent certain days, and this week it is the 9 of Swords. So for the last couple of years, I've been putting together a diary about what that means and how you can use it, how you can use that energy for manifesting. Next year, I haven't done it already for next year, and by now I normally have. And I was wondering why I haven't done it, and now I know why, because I have a new idea. So next year's diary, it will bring in some Feng Shui. I was trying to work out, there's no point having 5 diaries, is there? So I was trying to bring it all together. So it will have some Feng Shui energy, it will have tarot card energy, but it will also have the moon's energy. And in the moon's energy, I shall talk you through it in a minute, how it will work, but it will work in alignment to what's going on currently with the moon, and how you can use that with your tarot, with your manifestation, and with the Feng Shui. So for example, in this lovely Gemini's energy that we've got going on at the moment, I know that communication will be really important, networking will be really important, and other people are really important in Gemini's energy. So Gemini energy, it could in Feng Shui be if you're looking to enhance more connections, more clients, more helpful people. We want to be looking at the northwest area of your home. The 3 of Pentacles is really good to put in that area, by the way. But you want to be looking at that area if we want connections with other people. If it is connections on a deeper level, emotional, we want to look at the southwest area. And if we want to bring more harmony within family, we can look at the west or the east area. So depending on what it is that you want, but you can pop different cards or focus on different energy. But for me, Gemini is the communication, and the northwest area is going to be the best area to bring in those helpful contacts and get that communication going. If you're wanting to do writing, if you're wanting to enhance creative energy, again, northwest and west areas, great for that, supporting your writing roles, anything to do with communication. Now, as we're in June, let's have a little look at June. So this is from Autumn Moon Advisory coming up in June. We've got Venus entering Taurus on the 6th, and she's put, where do you want more love and romance? Now, love and romance will definitely connect to the southwest area of your house, so find out where the southwest area is. Pop your lover's card there. If you're on my workshop today at 6 o'clock, you'll find we're going to go through some tips there, or you can book a Feng Shui tarot reading or even a full home analysis to get even more information there. Mercury, which is the planet of communication, will enter Cancer on the 8th, which is next Sunday. So when we come in to do next week's podcast, it's all going to be about Cancer's energy, and Cancer represents the home. So it's a really good time to be looking at your home and the Feng Shui aspects. So she's put, where do you need to be more objective from the 8th? Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, the planet of luck, the planet of movement, will also enter Cancer on the 9th. So where do you wish to grow in your home or family? The full moon in Sagittarius is on the 11th. So find balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. Mars will enter Virgo on the 17th of June. So where do you need to pay attention to the details? The Sun enters Cancer on the 21st, which is the summer solstice. So where do you feel at home? And with that summer solstice being the longest day of the year, it's also the midpoint of the year. So for me, that's a really good checkpoint of checking in where your plans were from the beginning of the year. Are they working for you? Do you need to do a reset? It literally is like a new vision board can be created in the middle of the year there to reset your goals, chop and change things, to reevaluate where you've come from, and just check that you're on the right page. And if not, we can change it around. 1212 came up there. I love that. Angel numbers 1212. 1 is manifesting on your own and new ideas, and 2 is and 222, and 2 is to do with bringing people together. So we've got that lovely communication and connections going on, even with the numbers. The new moon in Cancer is on the 25th. So what helps you feel safe and secure? And I said I was going to do it from next Sunday. Mercury enters Cancer, not the sun and the moon. So we'll wait a few more weeks to actually get into that. But the new moon in Cancer is the 25th. So what helps you feel safe and secure? And Mercury enters Leo on the 26th. So what big goals will you want to focus on? And she's put, this will be a month to focus on what's important to you, on the things that make you feel safe and at home. Listen to your intuition and your emotions. What are they telling you? Very important there. So go follow Autumn Moon Advisory. Go sign up to her newsletter. It's absolutely fabulous. So I wanted to use her words because I just think they're great. Now, with the tarot that connects into all of that there, we've got the Mercury element, we've got the communication element. I'm still going to go with the Gemini aspects there, particularly is because we've got between the 2nd and the 8th of June, we've still got that 9 of Swords energy. Now, you might be feeling overwhelmed, you might be feeling a bit stressed, and you may be feeling that you've got lots of things just going on your mind. For me, the 9 of Swords is a card, although it's worry, anxiety, it always comes up when you don't need to worry, when at the end of the day it works out all right. So I would say try not to stress, try not to have that anxiety. And the Mars influence, Mars in Gemini, Mars can be two things. Mars can be force, so it can be war, it can be aggressive, but it can also be focus and passion and excitement. So try and change it around. Instead of being stressed and anxiety and letting that overrule you, try and be more excited about what's coming up for you. You've got the power of your mind, air signs and mind, swords and minds, and mental activity. So you've got the power in your mind to be able to change that and think differently and therefore act differently. I was talking to somebody yesterday, very much into like forward planning. I'm into future visionaries as well, but sometimes it can overwhelm you. So it's about bringing that energy back into the here and now, and just thinking, what can I do about this situation that I'm stressed about? Can I do something about it? Yes, let's do it. If I can't, no, let's park it and let's ask what I can do to make myself feel better. So it's just asking yourself to tap in and to get yourself a little bit more grounded with that. Now, in Feng Shui, like we said, the communication area this week is really important for me in the Northwest area to do with helpful people. Now, if you have a business, this will be if you've got a shop of some kind or an office of some kind, this could be where you can harmonise more clients, but also harmonise the people that you're working with, same as the Southwest area. If you're working or you're using your home as your vision board there, then my Southwest is in my hallway, my Northwest is in my kitchen. So those are the areas you want to pay attention to, where we have no clutter, no rubbish, nothing broken. You want to fix things in those areas to help the energy flow. Super tidy, super clean. But more important than that, it's got to be a balance of energy. And this is where Feng Shui comes in and really helps with analysis to help bring that balance. It's not just about having a tidy home. It really isn't. It's about, and in fact, you can have a messy home. You'll still have, if you've got the elements in place, if you've got the remedies in place, it will still work. It might just work a bit harder if it's messy, because the energy is just going to take a bit longer to cut through things. If it's almost like, if you're running to buy the shiniest pair of shoes, let's say, in the shop, and you go on a day there's no one in the way, and you just run straight smooth, and you get straight in there and you buy that pair of shoes that's all sparkling, you're really pleased. But if you went perhaps on the Saturday lunchtime, you've got a million people in the way, so then you'll get there eventually, but it's just taken ages to get there. So there's the same energy in your home. I'm going to use the shoe analogy. It's the same energy in your home. If you've got lots of things in the way, it's just going to take a long time to get to what you want. So that's where the decluttering and the tidying comes in. But it doesn't mean that it can't be balanced. So I know people have said to me, I don't want you to come around my house, I want it to be done, but I don't want you to come around my house because it's such a mess. It's not just about that. And actually we can do it remotely. I don't even need to step foot in your house there. In fact, if I do, it'll be even longer, because I'll be like, oh, you could do this, you could do this. So it can be done either. But we are seeing some very good results from it, so I do recommend it. So one of the questions that I was asked this week on this show was, can Feng Shui help remove spirits? In a nutshell, no. I believe that spirits have their own intelligence, therefore they can move, come and go as they please there. What Feng Shui does is bring balance and harmony to the home. So if you have an agitated energy in the home, it will calm that down. If you have unwanted energy in the home, it will calm that down. If you have negative energy, it will calm that down. And notice I'm saying energy, not spirits. I don't believe the two are the same. I think you've got a spirit and then you've got an energy. And a lot of the time, the energy that we have in our home is what's projected from ourselves. It could be arguments that we've had. It could be stressful days that we've had. It could be emotional, sad things that have been going on around us. It could be that our home's just not working for us, or we feel like our job's not very good and everything's going wrong, and we project that energy. We come home and we're in a mood, and we bring that energy in from outside, and there's something that's come to my mind, which we'll probably talk about in the Feng Shui workshop tonight, but it's to do with your shoes and the placement of your shoes. Really important, because your shoes are going to, and your clothes, are going to drag that energy inside. So have a look at how you feel when you get home or when you wake up. Are you the one that's projecting that energy out? Because that energy will build. Have you moved in somewhere where somebody else has had a divorce or a death? That energy will build. And what Feng Shui does is to neutralize that energy and balance it. You can do a lot with saging, you can do a lot with crystals, you can do a lot with tarot cards, you can do a lot with manifesting, with altars, absolutely. But Feng Shui kind of like seals the deal of it there. So there are lots of tips and lots of things that I talk about on my Instagram, in these shows, and just about anywhere I can talk about on a platform, to be fair, where we give lots of tips and lots of hints. I do have a free download on my website. There will be some more coming out there to do with Feng Shuis and maps, but it just sort of tightens the nuts, if you like, on tips that might might work for you on a temporary basis there. And sometimes your home is really working well, you feel really good, you won't need anything, it's all good, it's all balanced, it's all in harmony. These are things that help you if you find like you are stuck for money all the time, or money comes in and it just goes out, or you're constantly feeling drained or ill, you attract the wrong type of people, you're not happy in your job, or you just want more out of life and it just doesn't seem to be happening. That's where Feng Shui comes in, and the manifesting areas of it. So does it help remove spirit? No. Does it help bring balance and harmony to your home? Yes. And it might mean that if that spirit wants to stay there, but you're the one that's feeling agitated with it, by having Feng Shui done, you can calm the energies, and it might help you think differently and act differently. And you may find that you're more at peace if that spirit is coming in. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I've got really bad hay fever today, bless me. I've got really bad hay fever today. I've taken tablets and shit, but anyhow. I should look at my Feng Shui. Yeah, so I believe that spirit have their own intelligence, and if they want to move on, they will move on. You can talk to them, absolutely. We are in that communication area, so we can communicate with them. And if you're not comfortable, you're not happy. I have done it before where I have said out loud, strongly, when I had a spirit living in a house that I was in, and it wasn't comfortable. The house was not balanced. There was lots of toxic energy that we brought in as well, so it definitely didn't heighten it, it didn't improve it, it added to it. But there was some activity, spirit activity, and it got to the point where I couldn't wash, I couldn't bath, I couldn't do anything without feeling this presence. There was so much activity. We had the cutlery, I was upstairs once and it literally felt somebody was downstairs moving, cooking and moving all around this crockery and cutlery. And when I came downstairs, the door was shut, which was really unusual. It was a pie house. We had a lot of people coming in and going out a lot of nights. And I thought, that's unusual. And it was always guys. I thought, that's unusual for men to shut the door. They normally just leave and leave a trail of mess. And when I went in, their room was spotless and the kitchen was spotless. And I remember thinking, that's weird. I said to my boyfriend when he got home, who stayed over last night? He's like, no one stayed. But I heard clear as anything, breakfast is being made, crockery being run. Anyway, there was loads of activity. We both heard, other people heard it. So in the end, it got to the point where it was quite bad, and I literally stood in the middle of the house and was like, just get out, get there. I swore a lot, and I just said, get out, you're really scaring, you're really doing my head in. And I'm not kidding you, like that, it went. So you can communicate. If it's really bothering you, you can communicate. I don't think we were meant to stay in that house. We didn't last much longer in that house, and we didn't have any arguments until we moved in that house. So for whatever reason, that house didn't align with us, and we've just made it worse. So you can communicate if you have got spirits in your house, or wherever you are, and just let them know if you're not comfortable with it there. Maybe sometimes though that they're there trying to get your attention for a reason. And there is a beautiful story from Mavis Patilla. If you go on her website, on her YouTube, or type in the swimming pool spirit, something like that, where Mavis explains how spirits can't always be moved on if they don't want to be. But if they do want to be, they can go in a blink of an eye. So I would recommend having a look into that. Now, one of the other things that topics that my groupies have mentioned is dreams. And some weird stuff has been happening this year. Not necessarily connected to dreams, but maybe in a way. Electric shocks. Who's been having more electric shocks than normal? It's been bizarre. And I noticed that I was getting more electric shocks. And then I saw on TikTok someone mentioning about electric shocks. And I was like, oh my God. And then Cole was like, I keep getting electric shock. There's something going on in the air. Without a doubt, there is something going on in the air. Now, both Cole and I can't, we're not very good with metals. We always have car trouble. I need to change that because we've just got another new car. So I need to change that into, this car's actually going to be working for us. It's going to balance with our energies. But as a rule, I'm allergic to metal. I can't wear watches. I lose them. They break. They fall off. Clocks don't last long for me. The batteries really drain. Anything, computers, oh my goodness, if you spoke to my VA Gemma and my website designer Sophie, the when everything goes right for everyone else, you can guarantee that there will be a block for me with computers. There's something to do with metals, energy, metallic, and and my energy that doesn't seem to flow. And Cole is the only other person that I know of that also can't wear watches as well. It's weird. And again, I remember talking to Mavis about it many years ago, and she's saying there is something in that to do with the magnetics of your body and the electrodes in stuff. So it's a thing. So I think there is something to do with the changes going on in the environment, and that's why sensitive people are maybe electrocuting themselves a little bit more. In this woo-woo video that somebody else put up, they were talking about upgrades and you elevating yourself, and that's why you're getting more static shocks, because you're kind of upgrading into a next zone, next area, so you're picking up that frequency a lot more. I'll take a bit of that. I certainly feel that things are shifting and changing for both of us. And interestingly, I think I've said this before, both him and my son, particularly my eldest son, have had phenomenal opportunities this year, as well as I have. But I tend to have good opportunities anyway, to be honest. I am quite lucky. But this year it's been really noticeable for them too. All down to my Feng Shui. Do they believe me? They're not so sure. They think it's just like happening. But it's too much of a coincidence. The 1 year that I fully put everything in, and the 1 year it all works. So let's get into dreams. Let me know if anyone's getting static shocks though, a bit more than normal. So I think we are having a bit of an upgrade. Okay, dreams. Now, dreams are really funny. For me, dreams and dream books are very general and are based the same as most books of knowledge, are based on somebody's opinion, generalized opinion. And one shoe doesn't fit all. I keep going back to the shoes, don't I? Can't think why. So yes, you can pick up a thread in books of perhaps if you dream you're flying, it might mean that you feel you want freedom, or maybe you've got more opportunities coming up for you. If you dream of nightmares, it tends to be stress related. So there's a general theme of things. But what I find with dreams is that there is messages within messages within messages, and they are only personal to you. I can do lucid dreaming. I've trained myself to do lucid dreaming. I'm such a control freak that I even have to control my dreams. And in my dreams, I'm able to now, I can change things, I can turn things. I know when something should happen, and if I don't want that to happen, I can change it. I can also ask myself questions in the dreams as well. So when I'm going for a dream and it's like, I know I'm not going to remember the dream, I try and hold on to the feeling, and I try and ask, what's the crux of this dream? I don't need to know all the ins and outs. What's the crux of it? And by doing that regular, I've been able to get the information of, yes, it's going to be difficult, but it'll be all right, or you're going to go for a change, or you need to accept this. There will be something that has a really strong point in it. And I kind of like just diffuse everything else, because a lot of it is to do with the day-to-day's energy, what you've been thinking the last couple of weeks or days, or even hours, and that can be blended into the dream. But the message of the dream is at the crux of it. So I always ask, what the hell is all this about? And I'll get a feeling. I don't always remember the words, but I'll get a feeling whether it's good, bad, or not so. So that feeling is what I wake up with. That's what I take back with. I'm going to start to try and train myself to do a little bit more. And I wish I could wake up and write it down, but I love my sleep. It's very difficult. And it's also difficult when you're sleeping with someone who's sound asleep. You don't want to put the light on. Cole would wake up really, really easily, and nobody wants a grumpy Colin next to you. So I try and do what I can do. But one of the things I was taught a long time ago with dreams is, when you're awake, and if you can remember parts of it, is go into the dream and be parts of it. Now, many years ago, I had a dream. It must have been about 7 years ago, actually, because I've had my shop Mystic Coffee Lounge 7 years this month. So it must have been about 6-7 years. I dreamt that my nan and granddad, who never came to the shop, they'd passed there. They came to the shop, and my nan she would have loved it. A little coffee shop she would have loved. And I dreamt that they came to the coffee shop and we were having teas and cakes and things. And there was this particular tablecloth on the table and it was covering it all. And when I went to analyse what that dream meant, I was thinking it's a nice visitation from my nan and granddad. I like that. Got that part. Got the part of it's the coffee shop and it's new and they're coming in and embracing and the blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, what was I really drawn to? And this is what I learned to do with dreams. What was I drawn to? What really stood out? And what really stood out to me was the tablecloth. The way that it covered everything. The way that it covered the table. The way that it draped. So I went in and became the tablecloth. And when I became the tablecloth, I could really feel what that message was about. So I started doing that more and more. I became items in my dreams that were very significant. And it's a game changer of helping you understand what the message is of that dream. And there might be more than one thing. I don't know. There might have been a teapot. I could have become the teapot on that table. And that might, pouring maybe. That might have given me something there. I didn't. It was the tablecloth that I remember. But I would recommend the books and Googling things is general and it might inspire you a little bit. But I would really recommend going in and finding out the answers or the meanings of your dreams yourself. It does take a little bit of time, but it is doable. Discipline, like everything, but discipline. But when you go to bed tonight, set the intention of you want a message. And when you're in that dream, try and become a little bit conscious of what's happening in that dream, the colours, who's around, but you're feeling, how you feel within that dream. Just try and stir your consciousness a little bit to pay attention a bit more, recognise things. And then when you wake up, you may feel that you remember a message or the feeling. And whether you can do that or whether you can't, when you wake up, go back to the dream and just think, what stood out for me? It might have been nothing to do with the visitations that you're getting. I mean, that's a big deal in itself, but it might be nothing to do with that. It could be something as simple as the tablecloth or an object there, or a number or something. I dreamt the other day about numbers. I dream about numbers a lot. And this was 005, 0052, I think. I wrote it down. Something like that. Fives for me are changes. Fives to me can be a bit challenging, but they're to do with changes. And the double O's in it. I'm not sure what double O's are. For me, I'll have to go and work that out. And I woke up like, I know I've got this number. I don't know what this number is really. I don't know the significance of this number. 5225. There was something connected to 2s and 5s and 0s in it. It wasn't lottery numbers, but I do dream of numbers, so I need to work on that myself a little bit more. But you can do it. So I would say set that intention when you go to dream. It can be exhausting though, so try and do it when you haven't got much going on the next day, because if you do a bit of lucid dreaming, you really do feel like you've not slept well. But pay attention to everything, and try, and if you want to look at the books, if you want to know what birds mean or what this means, you might get a little general vibe and it might feel right for you, but try and go in and make it a bit more personal. And it's like everything, like guides and calling cards and everything, it should be personal. Shouldn't be someone saying to you, this is your guide. I don't think this is your guide, this is your calling card. I think it's things that you should find yourself. And by the way, calling card for me is when you know that spirit is coming around you, and it could change. It could absolutely change. I used to have it on my hand. It was like, felt like I don't know, like someone was touching me, like a light touch on my hand, slightly pinned in needles, not quite, slightly that. At the beginning of my journey. Now, 20 years later, I feel like I've had a stroke. It feels like I've got all this tingling. It's always on my left side, and it just feels like pins and needles quite thickly over one side. That's my calling card. That's when I know I've got my guide. And that's really important when you do any work. So again, it's something personal, something that's built up over time. It's something that you should be able to connect to. But how exciting that you can do that. How exciting and how wonderful that you don't need to be told from anyone else. You can do it yourself. You can do it. All these things you can do yourself. So let's just leave this episode in the loving hands of the universe, but also in the tarot cards. Let's see what we've got going on. If there's anything Feng Shui way I would say to do this week, just check in with your home and the balance. Do you feel like it's go in each room, look around. Would you be happy to bring, I don't know, a new partner in your house? That's always a good one. Or a new friend. That's always a good one. Would you be happy to bring them into every single room? If not, because it needs this doing or that doing, that will give you a bit of an inkling. But does it make you feel good? When you walk into the room, does it make you feel good? Your home is your stability, your security. It's just a safe place. And if rooms don't feel in balance for you, that's a red flag for me. Does it feel too energized? Have you got lots of reds and yellows and oranges? Does it feel like, oh, you can't rest in here? Or is it too pale? Is it too calming? You don't get motivated. You just get in and you just flake. Needs to be that balance. So I would say this week, just check in around each room of your home and feel if it's in balance or not. If it is, amazing, fabulous. If it isn't, then just ask what you need to do. Speak to the home. Speak to the home. If you want to join me, if you've literally got a couple of hours, if you want to join me on tonight's workshop for Feng Shui, 6 o'clock till 8 on Zoom, please do drop me a quick text now on 078 007 34911. If you want to sign up to my weekly newsletters, jam-packed, go onto my website, katemay.co.uk, it will come up. If you want to book a reading, website, book a Feng Shui, anything, website, or email me. Or you can, like I said, go onto the resources area there. Yes, that's what I'm sharing. So let's have a little look at today or this week ahead message. It's the happy ever after, and it's only to do with your flipping home. Oh my God, I love it when a plan comes together. It's to do with the home. It's happiness. It's happy ever after. Those of you that are moving, I'm going to tell you, you're going to move to a better place. It's going to feel much better. Those of you that are staying, you've got a good chance this week to be able to bring that balance, bring that harmony around your home. We've got the little house in the background there as a sign and symbol. Now, the 10 is a completion. The 10 is contentment. The 10 is success. We've got it all about a rainbow. This is all about happiness, emotional contentment, family love, friendship love, anything that you're doing in success. What a fabulous card to have to end today's session. 10 of Cups. You can have your cake and eat it. You can have happiness, health and wealth. You can have emotional contentment. It's coming.